Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be looking at how to answer a language question. I have taken an extract from the internet, and the language question we are focusing on is how does the writer use language to present Miranda? I'm going to read through the extract before I move on to answering the language question. Miranda looked at the ocean where a wild sea was raging. She watched as the waves went wild. Then she said, "What a dramatic storm." Okay, so when we are doing a language analysis, we all need to remember that the focus is on language. This means that we are trying to identify language devices such as similes, metaphors, or alliterations. We are also looking for word classes such as nouns, adverbs, adjectives, or verbs. If you want us to make a video about language techniques and word classes, please leave a comment down below. Now let's go back to our language question. How does the writer use language to present Miranda? To help construct a written response to the language question, I have written down some sentence starters. The writer presents Miranda as, this is shown in the quote, the use of language device implies that, it may also suggest that, the effect on the reader is. Okay, so firstly, we are going to think of an adjective to describe Miranda. We know that despite the storm, she's not afraid of looking at it, so perhaps we could argue that she's brave. So we're going to say something like, the writer presents Miranda as brave. Secondly, we need a quotation to support our statement. The quotation I'm going for is the first one in the extract. Miranda looked at the ocean where a wild sea was raging. However, this quotation is way too long, so I have shortened it to this. Miranda looked where a wild sea was raging. Thirdly, we must identify a language technique or a word class in our chosen quotation. I have chosen looked, which is a verb, so the use of the verb looked implies that. So far, we have made a point, we have chosen a quotation, we have identified a language feature, so the next thing we need to do is to write down what we can infer about Miranda based on this quotation. So, the use of the verb looked implies that despite the fact that there is a strong storm that will perhaps cause disaster in the city in which Miranda lives, she is not shaken by it. It may also suggest that Miranda lives a boring life, which makes the storm and the raging sea fascinating to her. In terms of the effect on the reader, we could say something like, the effect on the reader is that they may feel sympathy towards Miranda, as there's a probability that if she keeps on looking, she might end up being caught in the wide sea and drown. Now, by the time we get to the end of our analysis, this is exactly how our paragraph will look like. The writer presents Miranda as brave. This is shown in the quote, Miranda looked where a wild sea was raging. The use of the verb looked implies that despite the fact that there is a strong storm that will perhaps cause disaster in the city in which Miranda lives, she is not shaken by it. It may also suggest that Miranda lives a boring life, which makes the storm and the raging sea fascinating to her. The effect on the reader is that they may feel sympathy towards Miranda, as there is a probability that if she keeps on looking, she might end up being caught in the wide sea and drown. I hope this video was useful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.